Okay, guys, so we are starting on functions and not functions. So there are two different things when we're looking at dealing with functions. Either something is a function or something is not a function. And so to kind of start out, there's going to be several different things that you look at whenever you're dealing with functions. We're going to look at mapping diagrams, which is this first one. A table and a graph. And I'm going to kind of show you here in a second with the table what ordered pairs would look like, because you also have to look at ordered pairs. So when we are talking about functions, we are looking at basically saying that for every x value, there can only be one y value. So what that means is that when you think about if you wear a pair of shoes, and I know in different shoes you wear different sizes sometimes, but in Nikes, you would wear only one size in Nike. Like I wear a 9.5 in Nikes. It doesn't change based on what shoe I buy from them. I always wear a 9.5. So if I am the domain, my range would be 9.5. There may be somebody else that has that, maybe Miss Hall, she would be the domain, and maybe she also wears a 9.5. That's fine, right? We can both wear the same size shoe. However, I cannot wear a size 9.5 in Nikes, and I wear also a 7.5 in Nikes, because that doesn't make sense, right? So whenever I'm looking at this, I am looking at that the domain is like my input, and my range is my output. But this is also like my x value and my y value. So if you notice, each one of my x values only goes to one y value. Now you may notice that both of these go to the same y value. That's fine. That's like saying person number 2 wears a size 5 shoe and person number 3 wears a size 5 shoe. That's okay. So this left side mapping diagram is a function because for every x, there is only one y value. Now, when we get looking at the right-hand side over here, if you notice, this 1 goes to this 3 and this 5. That would be like person number 1 saying, I wear a size 3 and a size 5 in shoes. That doesn't make sense. So because that doesn't make sense, this would not be a function. So it is not a function because the 1 goes to 2 y values. And it can't go to more than one y value. So when we start looking at the next one, you always want to check your x values. You always want to check your x values. If you don't have any repeating x values, notice I don't have any repeating x values. I have a -2, I have a 2, a -3, and a 3. None of my x values repeat, meaning that I would not have more than one y value associated with an x value. So on this one, again, for every x value, there is only one y value. Now, when I go to look at my x values over here, notice that this 2 is associated with 3 and 4. I can't be associated with more than one value. So this is not a function because the x value of 2 has more than one y value. So the other thing I'm going to show you really quick is these are also like ordered pairs. So this would be like a -2, 4, because remember these are x and y. So this would be like 2, 4, -3, 9, and 3, 9. I don't want you to get confused. So again, when I'm looking at this, my x values, none of them repeat. It's okay for them to go to the same y value, but my x value can't be associated with more than one y value. So my x can't have more than 2 values that are associated with it. When I put these in ordered pairs, like 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 2, 4. When I highlight this, again, see how this one is associated with a 3 and this one is associated with a 4. So when I'm looking at my ordered pairs again, it doesn't work. Now, there's a really cool trick whenever you are looking at a graph that can help you determine if a graph is a function or not, and it is called the vertical line test. So the vertical line test. And vertical means up and down. So if I go where each one of my ordered pairs is, or each one of my dots, and I draw a vertical line and I only hit one dot, I pass the vertical line test. So this is a function because it passes the vertical line test. Now, if I go over here and I start drawing my vertical line, notice on this one here, I hit it twice. I hit it here and I hit it here. So it did not pass the vertical line test. And that is also meaning, to kind of give you a little input, if I was to write ordered pairs here, I would have an ordered pair at 2, 3, and I would have an ordered pair at 2, negative 3. So do you see how my x value is repeating here with 2 different y values? That doesn't work. So that's how the vertical line test works. So does not pass vertical line test. Now, you have a couple of things that you're going to practice for me today. None of the things are, none of the stuff that you're going to turn in for me today is graded. So you don't have to submit the assignment unless you just want to. These notes are for you to be able to have, to access. Tomorrow, we're going to look over it some more, and you will have a formative coming up. If you are unsure on what is going on or what is happening, I have a Zoom meeting on Tuesday at 2:20. Okay?